You're gonna bring us in. You know that,
Oh,
right?
I'm bringing us in? I thought you were bringing us in.
No, no, I don't. This is your party.
That should be the intro. We just did it. You guys are welcome.
There you go.
Welcome back to Bog Panda. We wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. So we talked a little bit about Sega cards when we reviewed Ghost House, which I have right here because I love props. Ghost House. So Sega cards were their idea budget games for their early 8-bit systems. In North America, they only ended up releasing 8 of these card games. And or seven, I'm sorry, 7 of these card games. You would think with such a small number, I'd remember that. They only ended up releasing 7 of these card games. I really want a Ghost House on a physical card, even though I have other ways to play it. Plus, now I can emulate it completely legally because I own a copy of it. So I really want a Ghost House, and I ended up coming across another card for like $3 or $4 when I picked up Ghost House. So I picked up that, and then I was like, well, there's only like 5 more. I might as well try and get the entire set of these. And I've been fairly successful where like every couple months I'd come across one, but there were two that were just completely eluding me. And I was trying to avoid going the eBay route because I've had really inconsistent results with that. But I finally broke down. I ordered them on eBay. So the first eBay one that I got was Teddy Boy. This came in great shape. It came in the box. So I don't know if you're seeing, I was holding up the cards in their little plastic sleeves. These are not the original sleeves. A few of them did come in the sleeves, but they were falling apart. You can actually still get replacement sleeves for these on Amazon, which I thought was interesting. So there you go. So a few of these did come in the boxes, but Teddy Boy was in great shape. The card was in great shape. The box was in nice shape. A couple of the other ones that I got in boxes, I wouldn't have chose to. I would have just chose card because the boxes were in horrific shape. But technically, I have the box for 4 of them. So hopefully replacement boxes for those soon. So Teddy Boy was great. The last one that I needed was Transbot. So I was like, well, let's eBay it again. And this was in horrible shape. And of course, the eBay listing was just you're taking what you get kind of thing. It looked like somebody had taken a knife and just scraped across the connectors. There was just thick, what looked like black gouges in the connectors. I did try to put it in the card reader. Obviously, it didn't read it. So I was like, well, let me see if I can clean it up a little bit. Turns out, not gouges, just some sort of gunk that was built up so high on the connectors that there was gouges in the crap that was built up on the connectors. So after a lot of scrubbing, and I was extremely liberal scrubbing it because I figured it was dead anyway, so I couldn't hurt it trying to do something. I actually got it to read and I got it to work. It's not the prettiest of the cards, but it does work. So now I have the entire 7 game Sega card collection. I actually think these are a cool idea, like we talked about with Ghost House. The problem is these were very small. I mean, the cartridges themselves were pretty small at that time, so these little cards held significantly less. And the idea was that they were going to be budget price titles, but they still had to manufacture the cards. There's boxes, there's manuals for them, and things like that. So, in actuality, the retail difference in price was about $5 between these and a full cartridge game. So, to people at the time, it was like, well, why wouldn't we just pay the extra few dollars, which makes complete sense to me? Pay the extra few dollars, get a full size game. So these did not last long, but now I have all 7.
So, do you have a favorite amongst them? Is it still
Ghost
Ghost
House.
House? Yeah. Yeah.
It's still very much Ghost House. The other ones are not bad though, but another one that I think is worth mentioning is where is it? Did I already lose it? It was the second one that I picked up for $4. It's F-16 Fighting Falcon. This is considered one of the worst games of all time. Not just card games, not just Sega or Master System games, just one of the worst games you could possibly get. It also didn't read right on a lot of people's card readers. So this was actually being developed for the precursor to the Master System, which we got here. And because the Master System was backwards compatible, this still worked with it. They basically just upscaled it to the Master System. The problem was when it came out in America, though, The American systems weren't backwards compatible to the previous generation, which were never released here. So this game didn't even play on certain card adapters in America. It played if you had an actual Master System, but if you had a Genesis and the card reader for the Genesis, it wouldn't play. And those people were better off because the game is absolutely terrible. It looks awful. It looks way below even what the graphics of the other card games are. I'm not sure I was controlling anything. And then I found out you actually have to use two controllers to control it. That makes sense. And it's a flight simulator game, which honestly, I've never really gotten into flight simulator games anyway. But the sky and ground are just two big squares on the screen. And you're just kind of moving a cursor along, apparently, with two controllers. I have no idea what was going on or what was happening. It's pretty terrible. Somehow, though, I guess it did well enough that the Fighting Falcon series, or the Fighting Falcon series, is a long running flight simulator series now. And this was I guess, the first entry. So somebody liked it. So maybe I'm way off base, but this is usually known as a particularly bad game.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering when you were talking about condition. I mean, first of all, it is kind of a dice roll with eBay. Now, the first box you held up, are they covered in plastic? Or that actually looked almost like shrink wrapped to me. But is it just the plastic on the box?
Just the plastic, the shininess of the
Okay.
plastic on the box. You'll notice too, the Master System was known for its, as we talked about when we did the review, pretty bad cover art, which was graph paper and then a little illustration in the corner, which is the title in itself. They decided to go more minimal with the cards, and it's graph paper with a photo of a hand holding the actual card. Those are the cover art for them. They were made fun of for that even at the time. So the final one that was released, only the American version of it got an actual box with more artwork than even Sega games at the time got, which is Spy versus Spy. So this one I actually intentionally bought a full in-box copy of because this is the only one that has a different packaging for it. The other ones, though, honestly, the boxes are in awful shape for them. So if somebody knows where I can get replacement Sega card boxes, put that in the comments. I am in the market.
That'd be cool. Good. Yeah, I had wondered, to your point earlier, it is a bit of a roll of the dice on eBay. I'm about to find out how successful it is because I gave up the for Britain only England released EP by Alice that had a live version of "Who Do You Think We Are?" Um, for Britain only is a studio track. Um, Gosh, there's two others. The Pain, I think, is one of them. But it four tracks on it. Alice in his special forces finery, so he's looking like a thing. But loved. I mean, for Britain only, it's always been a great song. But I had it, and it's gone, and I have suspects on who might have it, but it's not around. And I'm like, I guess, finally got a turntable hooked back up downstairs to enjoy vinyl a little bit more. And I'm like, I've got to get that back. So we'll see how well eBay treats me. Pretty cost effective. Was able to pick up the last copy of it that this seller had. So we'll see. Um, but I wish I had it because back in the day, my backdrop used to be some album covers that I had up on a wall, and that one would have been there if I still had it, but it was gone. So we'll see on that. And I was worried about for the cards you got, how, I mean, highly exposed connectors. The nature of that media is
Could not be any more exposed.
yeah, it seems bad. It seems like a bad idea. And So, and obviously the one was gunked up, but yeah, that would have been the thing. Now, when you cleaned it, did you use like acetone or rubbing alcohol or just
I use the alcohol. We have. I love my wife. We have our house is weird for anybody who doesn't know because I'm a doctor. We live in a doctor's office. The arrangement of the upstairs has now been converted into a house. We didn't do that. The previous doctor did. It was originally like a family doctor. It was built in the 50s, so I assume cocaine and prayer were heavily involved in that. But it was a family doctor. He eventually retired and sold it to a chiropractor. So the last doctor who's here was a chiropractor. He apparently did need 2 stories of offices to do his work. So he converted the upstairs to a house where he lived. And then where you see me here, where the studio is still offices. I am in what was the physical therapy room. So there was a bunch of workout equipment and stuff in here when I originally toured that. I was like, that's going. So that's none of that's in this house. So there's a recording studio in here now. Where you would think where the washer and dryer hooked up in a small room in the very back of the house, if you were coming in from the back, um, where our washer and dryer and some shelving and stuff is, there's a sink there. You would think that that's our utility sink. It isn't. It's because there wasn't originally a washer and dryer there because it wasn't a house. So that was just one of the many, many sinks that we had down here. There were 12 on this floor of the house at one point. There's 5, I think, left. We got rid of a bunch of them. There were 12, though. My nephews were enamored with it. That was their favorite thing about the house the first time they saw it. They're like, there's sinks everywhere. It's perfect. That's in a little kid's mind, like that's,
Young boys and sinks,
yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah. So like everywhere you look, there's a sink. Obviously, this is a classy joint. So we got rid of a lot of the sinks. There's still a few down here. But that sink is not our utility sink. And I have to constantly remind people that we have work being done and things like that. Like, that's just a sink. Don't put things down there. My wife poured paint in there. Not a utility sink. Paint didn't go anywhere, stay in the sink. So tried numerous things, nothing was working. And then I saw online somebody buy, really strong alcohol, pour it in there, let it soak. It might eat the sink a little bit, but it'll definitely eat through all the paint. So you have to watch it, but it did work. It stripped all of the paint off when nothing else would, even paint thinner wouldn't take it off. The alcohol did. But now we still have like 10 bottles of rubbing alcohol laying around because it took a lot. We didn't know how much we were going to need. Originally, I bought 1 bottle and I was like, oh, that made a square. That was, that was good. So we just went out and bought like 30 of them. And it did take most of them, but there's still a number of bottles left. So this was very concentrated because there's different percentages of rubbing alcohol, something I never knew. There's different concentrate percentages on there. So it's high concentrate rubbing alcohol. I got some Q-tips, dipped them in there. First one I put across it, it was black as if you had taken a marker to it. Black. That's when I realized how raised everything looked. So that gouge was the gouge through the crap that was spilled onto the open connectors.
Yeah, so the the main floor where the office is, and then the upper floor was converted into a house. And
Correct.
you bought it all. So are you a house too? Are you a
No, I'm
doctor?
just a
Your
doctor,
house.
sir.
It's just your house. So this is you're a talking house. This is impressive.
I'm a
Uh,
homeowner. So I'm a doctor because I own a doctor's office, and I'm a homeowner because
I think
I'm
you're a house.
housed.
I think according to your theories, you're actually a house. So
I'm
so
housed. And at one
so
time, I mean, certainly the most oversynced person in the neighborhood. Still probably give anybody a normal home a run for its money, given how many sinks we still have, but not as many.
cool. Well, if there are other Master System Sega card owners, first particularly people who might have extra boxes for Mike,
Yeah,
but in general, we'd like to hear
let's have
from you.
boxes.
If you're kind of agreement with him, that Ghost House is the a relative of Mike, by the way, Ghost House as a house. But check that out. Let us know if you agree with
It's
his.
also it's worth noting too that if you are a Master System collector, because I don't know if Master System stuff's getting more popular or just more rare, but the reason that I got more interested in Master System recently is because it is getting harder to get and a little more expensive suddenly. So I don't know if it's popularity or rarity of it, because I mean it's getting up there in age now, the Master System stuff. But all of these were actually re-released on cartridges. So I'm going out of my way to collect something that's not only rare but totally unnecessary, even if you want to play on real hardware.
Now, do they upgrade it at all, or just take the tiny
Just the
file
game on
and
a cartridge. Yeah,
yeah, re a different media delivery mechanism
yeah.
and
No changes
mildly
to the game.
protected contacts, slightly better protected
Yeah,
contacts. So,
better protected contacts. That's the only upgrade.
okay, fair enough. Cool. Well, appreciate folks if you'd like and subscribe, hit that bell so you know when we've got new stuff coming out. As we often mention towards the end of these shows, be sure and check out Hard No. It's the world's shortest podcast. About to get a lot better because somebody else is going to be writing questions for Hard No for a little while. So we're going to go to different places than we've been recently. So yay for that. Um, we've got some
Way more OJ
merchandise.
content.
Hmm. Some merchandise you can take a peek at. No OJ merchandise. And be sure to check
Yeah.
out Bog Panda Vision. I called it Bog Pandaverse on a recent video. And just, I don't know, but Bog Panda Vision, which is our micro homebrew site where you can get all the various goodies that over time Mike and I have been involved with creating, currently all free. You got Game Boy games such as Slapdash. You actually have some Doom levels now out there as well you can download. Um, and the most brilliant C64 coding ever. There's a screenshot of that that's out there, an online game, and some things there. So check it out. It's all free currently, and all the stuff that's there will always stay free. But at some point, Mike's got stuff cooking that might involve us not having everything free, but we'll see on that. But appreciate it. Let us know what you think about the Sega cards. If you got a favorite, would appreciate that. Subscribe and a like, share with your friends, and thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
Bog Panda.